Right. So, hi everyone. Welcome to the first meetup for the year. Hope you guys are having a good year so far. Are you having a good year so far?
Yeah, sure I am.
Okay, that's good to know. Me too. So today we have Uche on the call with us. Uche is our speaker for today. Uche is a software engineer at Good Talent Corporation and Bold Click. He's also an instructor at Top Skill and he speaks Chinese, which is a pretty fun fact. Maybe he will drop one or two words for us for future reference. I'm sure watching, do they speak Chinese in anime? I don't know. But if you watch a Chinese anime, I'm sure it's a lot more interesting for you than us that have to read the caption. So, which is going to be speaking to us about Vite. We all know Vite. That's and I'm pretty excited to learn more about it. I've been seeing a lot about it on Twitter, but I haven't had the opportunity to actually build with it. So I'm very excited. So without further ado, I'll be handing over the floor to Uche. So Uche, I'm going to make you a host so you can share your screen and do whatever you want. But just know that you should feel comfortable and make the floor your own. You can take questions as you give the talk. If you want, you can make it an interactive session, or you can just go through your slides and then take questions at the end. Basically, just feel free and comfortable.
All right, thank you.
So you can go ahead.
Okay, hi everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to the first meetup for the year. Quickly, just want to share my screen, and then we can get in.
So as Uche prefers to share his screen, if you have any question, be it on YouTube or here on the Zoom call, you can drop it in the comment section, or you can raise your hand if you want to ask directly. And when he's done or when he's ready, we will deal with the questions. But for those on the YouTube channel, you can just drop your questions in the comment section and we will get to them.
Quickly, I need to. Okay, I'll need to set permissions to share my screen. So I'll quickly do that and be back.
Okay, that's fine. In the meantime, I guess I can get to know some of our Nigeria View community members. Hi, Timothy. Hi, Ibrahim Abdullahi Aliyu. And hi, there's another Ibrahim. And hi, Ade DJ. Hi, Timothy.
Hi everyone.
Hi, hello. Happy New Year. This is the first time we're meeting this year.
Yes, it is. Same to you.
I'm not sure who's speaking.
Oh, this is Timothy.
Okay. So Timothy.
I look forward to today's meetup, and as well as all the meetups we'll be having for 2022. I know that it's greater than last year's.
Yeah. So do you have any view goals for the year?
Yeah, I do. I attended the just concluded Vuejs Nation.
Oh, that's
yeah.
nice.
In one of these sessions, Evan, you had a walkthrough of the new documentation, the View 3 docs. I think it's currently hosted on staging.vue.org or something like that. And it was really comprehensive. And yeah, there's a lot of things that I would really like to check out. So the View 3 docs, one of the things I look forward to this year, as well as Storybook.
Okay.
Yeah, how to build Vue.js components in isolation using Storybook. And
That's nice.
yeah, and also some of the content. I think there was last year, one of the meetings we had was with when you invited Ben
Yeah.
Hong. Yeah, and so he made a reference to checking out resources by Michael Thiessen. So I've gotten some of his courses, reusable components and 6 levels of clean components. I intend checking them out. So yeah,
That's great.
hopefully, yeah.
Well,
Thanks.
ultimately, you're doing so well. I'm very happy to hear that.
Yeah,
Um,
thanks.
does anyone want to share their view goals for the year? Hi, Uche. I see you just joined the call. Hi, Jerry.
Yeah, I'm back in. Thank you.
Okay. Well, Uche is back. So, are you ready to share your screen?
Yeah,
Okay.
I hope disabled screen sharing. Could you grant me permission, please?
Oh.
Okay.
All right. You should be all set now.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. Yeah. So once again, hi everybody. Nice to meet everyone and be a part of the meetup for today. So in today's session, we will be going through VIT. Okay, so that's the wrong pronunciation. It's actually VIT. We'll be going through VIT. And then I have titled this VIT a game changer for Vue developers. So like I said earlier, I'm sure everyone in the Vue ecosystem, or like almost everyone, has probably come across Vite. However, I think there is a lower number of people who have actually tried and used Vite. I think first off, we are probably scared of trying new things or trying new frameworks that are probably we are not used to. Because I mean, as humans, we also just want to be comfortable in things that we are familiar with. But the thing is that Vite is really a game changer for Vue developers, and it's actually created by Evan Yu, the same person we know who created Vue.js. Okay, so we would have a look at Vite and how it really helps us as Vue developers. So before I dive right in, I feel like it's best to tell about myself so that everyone here knows who I am. So I am Uche Chukwu Azubuko. I'm Igbo, and I don't have an English name though. So I mean that's all of my name, and I'm a software engineer at Good Talent Corporation and Boldclick, and I'm an instructor at Top Skill. I'm also bilingual. I speak English and Chinese. I'm Igbo. I don't know how to speak Igbo so well. So I actually from the languages I can't speak, though probably like elementary level, though elementary Igbo. So you could find me on GitHub, LinkedIn, Twitter, Medium at these various links. And then that's my website I have. All right. So that's just a bit about me and who I am, basically. Let's go into what we have for today. And also, before we get started, if you have any questions you'd love to ask, please feel free to say or tell so. Okay, I think Zoom has a way of having people ask questions. You can raise your hands or so. I think that would be so orderly and all. So let's just get into the matter for today. and we'll be talking about VIT, why VIT, what benefits does VIT bring, and we would also have like a demo time where we create a Vue project with VIT, and we round up things at the time of conclusion. So the first thing we would have a look at is what is VIT? What is VIT? So the origin of VIT, it was actually on April 20th, 2020. And then Evanu like had a tweet that said, as I was going to bed, I had an idea about a no bundler dev setup using native browser ES imports, but with imports for Vue SFCs with hot reload. Now it's almost 6 a.m. and I have POC working. POC is proof of concept. The hot reload is so fast, it's near instant. So as Vue developers, I'm very sure that something we really come across is whenever we're probably like building an application, we have to, like when we probably run npm run serve or yarn serve, it takes so much time for the application to build, and God, it can be an experience that we probably do not enjoy. Okay, so I mean, where I currently like work at, I mean, the code base is so large, and then when you run yarn serve, you could actually drink water, like go to take water from dispenser, drink, and it hasn't like run. So Evanu probably, of course, has seen this as an experience that developers do not enjoy. And what he did was to come up with VIT, okay, a no bundler dev setup. So we are very much aware of how Vue, I mean the regular Vue like CLI we use to create our Vue application, like it comes with Webpack. So when you are setting up your Vue environment for project and you have to create your template with Webpack and all of that. So what Webpack does essentially is to bundle all our files, our JS files and everything so that it can be run on various browser types. Okay, and then in bundling this, it actually bundles everything. Okay, it bundles everything, and this is the reason why development time can be so slow. You have to wait a while before things are rendered on the browser. But with VIT, there's joy. So Evanu was really thinking about making the developer experience optimal. So VIT is French word for fast or rapid or quick. Okay, so it's pronounced VIT. So the first time I heard the word, Vite was on my mind, and Vite was all I kept saying really until I actually had to like come up with the presentation slides, and then I found out it was actually VIT. Okay, so it's a new kind of build tool for front end web development created by Evanu. We all know Evanu. He's like the author of everything Vue. Okay, so think of a pre-configured dev server plus bundler combo, but leaner and faster. It leverages browsers' native ES module support and tools written in compiled native languages like ES Build to deliver a snappy and modern development experience. So that's like the whole idea behind VIT, okay, to deliver a snappy and modern development experience. So VIT in itself isn't replacing Vue, right? It's not replacing Vue. It's a development experience to enhance a developer's. It's a development environment to enhance a developer's experience. Okay, so think of it as, like I said, a leaner and faster Vue CLI. And then the reason why I have said that we would have demo time moving forward is because we need to see this thing in action. We need to see how it really works and comes out to life, and not just like talk, okay, and not just type. There are videos like about Vue and about VIT on YouTube and online, but we need to like try it out to see that it really works, okay? And then you can check out more stuff on VIT at the documentation here at vjs.dev. We would have a look at that later.
Okay, I still there?
Sorry, can anyone hear him? Or is it just me?
No, I can't hear him either.
All right.
Let me reach out to him.
So sorry, I noticed that why some people were joining the meeting, that you were calling some names and you're calling out names for them to like introduce themselves and say their view goes for the year. So I felt that I might have skipped when my name was called due to my network notification. So I'm Brian. I'm
Okay.
Hi everyone. So I had issues with my network. I'm joining back now.
Okay. Thank you, Uche. Hi, Ibrahim. I heard what you said. How about we just get back to that at the end of the meeting? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So Uche, I'm going to set you up so you can share your screen again.
All right, thank you. What happened, please? What happened when I had set up? Does anyone have a question?
No, we just stopped hearing you and could not see your screen anymore.
Okay, sorry about it. It was a network glitch.
It's fine. Hold on. Give me a moment. I'm having some issues. Okay. All right, you can share your screen now, Uche.
Thank you. Okay, so I had told us all that Beats is about and how we can check out more on Beats at the documentations website, at the documentations link using vjs.dev. Okay, so why Beats? Because at the end of the day, we have the Vue CLI, and I have told us a bit of the reason why we should use Beats, but I have elaborated and like outlined a few points for us to have a look at. So why Beats? So one problem you might run into as a developer is the amount of time it takes for your application to load up when you make changes. Vite makes the feedback loop speed during development super fast. So similar to Vue CLI, but linear and faster, it uses rollup, which can be more efficient than Webpack. So even in production, it can even be more efficient than Webpack because it uses rollup. Okay, so you could like check out rollup if you have no idea about rollup. You could read about it moving forward, and you could try to find out the differences it has with Webpack too. So this was the problem. This was the reason why Evan, you had to think of it and come up with it. So what benefit does Vite bring? So Evan, you also like had a tweet that said, I feel I may never be able to go back to Webpack. So this was like, this is the aftermath of Vite. Okay. So having made Vite, remember that Vite was made on 20th of April 2020. And this is Evan you saying on the 29th of April 2020 that he doesn't think he may ever go back to Vite anymore. So, sorry, to Webpack anymore. This is because of all the benefits, like I said, that Vite brings. Okay. Nobody wants to be building an application and then they have to wait for like a whole minute plus just cause they changed 2 to 3. And that's actually what happens when we use Webpack. Okay, we have to really wait because it has to build all the files on the app and the project. But with Vite, what happens is that just that update is recognized and changes are made like immediately with immediate effect. We'll see that in action moving forward. So some characteristics of Vite is that it's French, fast, rapid, quick. That's what it means in French, actually. Vite is also framework agnostic. So this means that it works with Vanilla JS, Vue.js, React, Svelte, and Lit elements. So these are various frameworks in which we can use Vite. So if you're here too and you are probably not a Vue dev, you use React, you use Svelte, you use React, Vite would also work for you and help improve your developer experience. So it's not just for Vue developers, but since, I mean, this is a Vue Summit, we will of course like focus on Vue moving forward. But I mean, there's joy to know that Vite can also be used across various platforms, across various environments. Vite also has TypeScript support. And then Vite encourages code splitting, which improves performance. So, so with Vite, what happens is that, like I said earlier, only things that are needed are rendered. So even when you launch your application, just like the main entry point is rendered, and like all the routes don't have to be rendered, except they are requested for. Okay, so that's how Vite works. And also, you can get started in a minute just using yarn init Vite app, and your Vite app can get started at that point. Then you can choose whichever framework you want to use, either using Vue or Vue with TypeScript or React TypeScript, and so on. So that's just how Vite works. And these are benefits that come with using Vite. Okay, so just to check in, I hope everyone is able to hear me and see my screen.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's just move forward. Okay, so like I said earlier, while Vue can work with various frameworks, including React, Svelte, Lit elements, as Vue developers, we want to see how Vite can work with Vue, right? So this is what this part is all about. So by using npx create Vite app and then the name of your project, you are able to have a Vue project up and running with Vite. Okay. So before using Vite, however, you need a couple of prerequisites on your local machine, including Node.js version 12 and above, and a compatible browser for development. Now, the reason is because if we check out caniuse.com, I'll just quickly open this for us to see. Can I use ES6 module dynamic import? So we would see that not all browsers actually support this ES6 build that Vite works on. So we see that IE 11 doesn't support EX6 module dynamic import, and then Opera Mini 2 doesn't support, EC browser doesn't, Baidu browser. However, the thing is that these like combined are not up to the like larger fraction of people that use web browsers. Okay, so while Vite works on most browsers, it doesn't work on these browsers that we have just seen are on red. Okay, not supported, not supported, not supported, not supported, and then Kai OS browser is also not supported. Well, another thing you can also consider, because it's not green everywhere, is that maybe you could consider not using it in production for now. And this might be like up to like personal preference. You could decide to if you like, because I mean the benefits are clear to see. But I mean, because you may have users who are also using Opera Mini or Internet Explorer version 11, you might give it a thought to maybe keep using the Vue CLI to think get better. Because also remember, Vue, I mean, Vite is just is new in the ecosystem, and of course there's large room for growth. So like I said, we would run npx create Vite app, and the name of our project and created already. So no session. So if you're probably with your laptop or you would love to code along, feel free. Quickly open up my terminal to create a Vite project.
I can't see the new screen.
Yeah, same here.
Okay. I hope you can see my screen now.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, like I said earlier, we are going to have a demo on how Vue works and see it in action and see how fast it really is, and not just talk. So what we'll be building today would be something so simple. You know how when you go on Jumia or Slots and you want to make an order, you have your product and you are able to like switch between the products that you probably want to buy, probably the white color or black color or something like that. So we'll just have a demo on that. And basically, essentially, all of this is just to see how fast Vite is compared to using the Vue CLI. So I would create a folder on my desktop and name it Vite app. Oh, sorry. Okay, I haven't created it yet. So that's my stuff not responding. npx create the app and the app. It's just this easy to create a Vite app. So also on my desktop before the session, I had gone to download 2 pictures we can use. These are pictures of the Galaxy 21 FE, both black and white. And we will just see how we can actually run, what's it called, use Vite to create a very optimal application and have our development time enhanced real quick. After we've created our Vite project, next thing we do is to cd into Vite app. And then we run yarn to install all the dependencies. So one thing that happens again when you use Vite is that it has all the initial dependencies you need. However, unlike the Vue CLI that installs everything for you at the start, you need to like install everything after the template is created. So we use yarn to install. I enjoy using yarn like over npm because of like performance issues and all of those that are related to yarn. So by running yarn, I'm installing all the dependencies that are needed for the project that Vite brings initially. Let's wait for it to just quickly install these things. So if anyone has any question, please feel free to ask. If there's probably something about Vite you've always wanted to know about before today, feel free to ask your questions. or if there's something about the Vue ecosystem you've always wanted to learn more about, please feel free to ask your question. Okay, so while there are no questions right now, our Vue project has our dependencies of our Vue project has been installed, and then we can run into the folder VS Code using code dot. This opens our Vue project using VS Code. All right, so we have our project here on VS Code, and I'll open my terminal and run yarn dev. So this so did you see how fast that was? So it didn't even like take so long for yarn dev to run. So you know how we run yarn serve with the Vue CLI and we have to really wait. It tells us like 20% completed or something like that, or depending on the amount of bundles you have, it says something over something, and you have to just keep waiting. But Vue just does it so fast. And now our dev server is running at localhost 3000. Quickly grab localhost 3000 and we can have that on our browser. All right, so this is like the default templates, similar to what the Vue CLI gives us. I'll just like share my screen just so that we can actually see how fast things are really. Okay. All right. All right. So of course, so Vue comes in like various folders. We have node modules, we have a public folder, and we have SRC. So as a Vue developer, these are things we are quite familiar with. Let's have a look at our SRC folder. In there, we have assets, components folder. We have our app.vue like we are familiar with while using the Vue CLI to build. We also have an index.css, okay? So where we can like build, where we can like put our CSS and all our styling in regards to our application. On main.js, we have things that are quite similar, even when we use Vue CLI to build. And we have our index.html. So one thing we can also recognize is it's strange to see that index.html is not in our public directory, okay? So the reason why is because look at line 11. We see that script is of type module. So essentially, at the end of the day, Vue builds according to modules and what was updated. Okay, it doesn't desire to rerun every module that is in your project. Since things are quite similar to what we have when we run the Vue CLI, I'll just quickly like update some content on our codes and see how fast things are. So imagine I change like count to like 5. You see that count is updated real quick, like very, very quick. So if I change this to 3, it's updated very quick. So it's called hot reloading. Okay. Yeah, so we can try to build something else. So building is also similar to building with the Vue CLI. There's really nothing much different. What we can do is to delete our hello.vue file. and we can just build something simple in our app.view. Okay, so like I said, I will be building something quite similar to what we see when we want to shop online. We are not using this component anymore. So yeah, let's go on. Before I continue, I told us I downloaded some, what's it called? Someone has a message. Okay, please feel free to drop your questions, everybody. All right, so coming. All right. So let's just kick off and like build something quite simple. I'm sure everyone here knows how to write HTML. So the first thing we'll create is a div, and then we give it a class of product. And like just see how things like get updated on the browser. Let's create a div that says text, and give this a class of text. And then we have a scoped styling. And then when we say the text and we say color to red, it just changes immediately. Every developer wants this. Everybody wants. I remember when I was building like a project one time, and it was like completion time was really like slow. Why? Because imagine your server like has an issue and you have to like rerun. It takes so much time for Webpack to compile everything. But now things are faster. So we're no longer using like this the text class anymore because we have something we want to build. I was just showing us how fast things are. So we want a class of product, and in product we want to have a class of product image by the side, by left hand side, and then we want a class of product info by the right hand side. Okay, and so quickly we can just divide this using grid. You could use flexbox if you'd like. And then we give you a grid template columns of 1FR, 1FR. Okay. So one thing I will quickly do here is to quickly send all the pictures I have downloaded into the assets folder so that we can have them in our application. So I'll just quickly copy them and send them here. Our SRC, and we can like get back to coding. So now that we have our pictures, one thing we can quickly do is to render our picture dynamically on our screen. And then what I would do here is to import image one. Okay, I import image one from the assets folder, and I want to pick out S21 FE black dot WBP. And then we also need image 2 here. White. At the end of the day, we want to render an image based on the color that a user selects. So of course, the next thing we need to do to render data on our screen is to create a data function that returns an object. And then we can say image1 is equals to image1. But with ES6, all we need to do is just write image1 and we have image1. So we also need an image tag to render our dynamic image. And then we can write image1 here. Trying to check the chats. Oh, thank you so much. That was an error. Yeah, my terminal also says so. All right, cool. So we have our image on our desktop. And see how fast it was for everything to come up. Jerry Hogan, thank you so much. Okay, so we are using our image1 already, and we can see how everything just came to life real quick. Quickly, we'll just create some dummy content as well. And then on the right-hand side, some of the things we want to display are the name of our product. So what we can do here is to create a product data, and then we name it Galaxy S21 FE, and it's a 5G phone. Then we could have this as a H2 tag, and then render that on the screen as well. Okay, I think we need to increase our browser a bit to see how things are going. A nice one, Hogan. Okay, so I'll be switching between our browser and VS Code. All right, so cool. So we have our product name displayed on screen as Galaxy 21 FE 5G. Another thing we probably want is to give a colon gap, okay? So that things are not like near to each other. And we can say 20 pixels. Remember that we had an index.css, and that's the reason why our Galaxy S20 FE is like center aligned. So we can comment that if you don't want that. Head over to our browser and things get updated instantaneously. Another thing we can also do to our project is to create product details. So every product you find online has like details, right? So let's create the details data. And of course, this would be an array of details. And then the first one can be like strong, because I think Samsung phones are strong, except their screens. And they are durable as well. They last for so long, like in terms of usage. Another thing we can add is expensive. Samsung phones are expensive, especially like the Galaxy versions, the S series. So to render that on our screen, on our browser rather, we would have a list, okay? And our list will have an item, okay? We want all the items in our details to be like rendered using Vue, and we do this using the directive v4, okay? So we are going to look through the detail in details and render all the details. So what v4 needs is to have a key, and then we can either bind we can either bind the key to the details, since all details are different, or we could like use the index, and we can find the index here. All right, so our error is gone. And now when we check our browser, we have a list of our items: strong, durable, and expensive. Okay. So yeah, what else do we need? Maybe we can give this a header as well, where we say H4 is equals to details of product. Okay. And then when we refresh this, we should have everything like all good. Our UL like always has this margin and padding thing, and that's why details doesn't have like is inside. So we can give a padding of 0 here and a margin of 0 here. And when we check, okay, sorry, we shouldn't take off the padding. The best thing would just be to take this guy out. All right, things look better now. Another thing that product pages have is a variant, okay? And then this brings us to like what we want to do at the end of the day. We want to have a list of colors here and here, okay? So that we can like toggle between white and black fonts when we want to select what we want to buy at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, all we have seen is that things are so similar to using the view CLI. So this doesn't change how view works, okay? Vite doesn't change how view works. It just changes the developer experience. So I'm updating things and feeling good, and this is what everybody wants. This is what everybody wants. I remember one time someone shared a joke about how you run npm install or like yarn. No, yarn is like even faster. You run npm install and you could boil hot water, you could prepare Indomie, you could have your DSTV like restart, and npm install hadn't concluded. So this is not usually like the best experience for any developer. You want something really fast, and thanks to Evan for coming through on this. So after our details of products, what we want is, let's wrap this in a div since like they're all related. And then what we want is product variant. So we can create a class that has product variants. This isn't completely spelled well. And we can also give this a class too that says product details. All right. So in product variant, what we want is that we want a list of all the products that are available, right, on our platform. So of course, the general name for our product is Galaxy S20 FE 5G. But then again, our product has variants. There's silver, there's gold. It has like different images as well. And of course, it would have different IDs. Remember that we're like building dummy data. So let's just try to mock something like that up. Front-end engineers would probably tend to work with APIs that back-end engineers have worked with, but like execution is similar. So we'd have objects of various variants, okay? And the first, because we're working in black and white, we create a fake ID of 1, and then we'll have our color set to black, a string of black, and we'll have our image set to image 1, okay? So that's for our first variant. And then our second variant is the same, ID of 2, color of white, and then our image is and the 2. All right, so we are good to go. We are good to go. So what we want to now do is to create. So what I'll do here is I wouldn't look this time for like the text based on color, but I will create like buttons, right? Or I would create like a div, a circular div, so that when a user taps on it, it's going to be round, of course, and feel like a button. When a user like clicks it, the color of the product is updated. So how we will do this is by creating a div inside here, and we would look over that div. V for variant in variance. We would also need the index at the end of the day, so we can try to like tap into it. Or since we have IDs, we'll just use the ID. That's way better, because while you're working, you have to use the ID. It's better that way. And then the key here is variant.id. Okay. Variant.id representing the ID of each of the variant that has been looked over. So we can quickly start that up, because when we check our browser, nothing like shows. Remember, it's on hot reload, so we can't see anything here yet. Let's start that using product. I can close my terminal. Product variants. I think I'll use the right for styling and the left for HTML and CSS. So HTML and JavaScript. So product variants, and we want to style the div actually, right? So we select the div, and then what we will do is to give it a height of 40 pixels. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. A width of 40 pixels, border radius of 50%, and a border of 1 pixel solid, and then well, black. Do we give it black? Let's give it burly wood, because like the reason why we're giving it a color is just to have the white to like show that there's a round white button. There's something round and the color is white and you can click it. Okay, if we don't do that, if we don't give it a border, it'll be white, but it will be like the same thing with our background, and we don't want that. Except we like change the color of our background, but I think I'll leave that as white for now. So now that we have styled our buttons, we would also need to style this this parent called product variants. Okay, let's have a look at how things are doing. So we have these two buttons, and this is what I wanted to achieve. However, they are on themselves, so we can like flex them and flex wrap in case you are probably building your own similar stuff, and there are a lot you want them to get into the next row. So product variants, display of flex. We need to have column gap as well here. Let's say 10 pixels. I think that's fair enough. Flex wrap. Flex wrap, of course, may not be so useful here since we're just working with two buttons. And then, of course, we want pointers so that the div feel like the divs feel like what's it called? They feel like buttons at the end of the day. Okay, and then let's see how things are. Okay, cool. And yeah, they are clickable. Let's create some space at the top. Margin top. Let's say 30 pixels. Awesome, so fast. Um, yes, so with this now, we want to get into reactivity. One thing we can do here is to, or like the next thing rather, we would do here is to style the buttons based on the color of the products. Okay, remember we have like product variants, and then our variants have colors. The first is black and the second is white. So we'll go ahead now to style the buttons according to the variant colors. And then in view, we are able to bind class and also style. So we would use style bind. And then what we are looking at to change is the background color. And we want to update that according to the variant.color. Okay. So when we go back into our browser, we should see the change now. So we have black and white. And if there are lots of other colors, the colors would also get updated based on the different color of each variant. Okay, so right now we have this done, but then again, when we click, nothing happens. Okay. Now, next thing we can do is create that click event and like make things happen. So here in our script, we need to also then have methods. Okay. So something that we have also witnessed is the fact that I'm working with Vue 2. But then the thing is that Vite can also be used on Vue 3. I mean the composition API. Sorry, yeah, the composition API. So I'm currently using the options API and things are working fine. Things would also work fine if you choose to use the composition API. I thought someone would have asked about that, but yes, so that's that. Let's create this method that says change variant because we want our variant, our picture to update. Okay, so what we would need to pass, of course, is the image, the variant image. So let's say we're passing the image, and then we want to then say that this dot img1 is equals to the image that is passed in. Remember that we have our initial image to be img1, right? This one we have here, right? This guy, the black. So at the end of the day, what we desire to do is that when this button, this our div, let's have it as a button in this case, in this use case. So when this is clicked, we want the image to be passed, right, to this function. And then we want this on line 36 to get updated to whichever image is clicked. Okay, so let's conclude that and see what I mean in action. So we add a click listener to our div, and then what we will do is to activate that function that we created, change variant function, and then we would pass in variant the image. I'm wondering why there's an error. I need to check. Type change. Oh, methods. All right. Oh, Jerry, thanks. I just saw your text. Thank you. All right, so we are on track. Okay, so with this now, when we click on this div, we should be sure that things will get updated. So when I click on white, it gets updated to white. And when I click on black, it gets updated to black. But like the idea is not in like the idea is not in the reactivity, because we all know that Vue is reactive, very reactive. The idea is in how fast building, like development time, is enhanced and improved upon, and performance gets better. So we have seen how Vite is so useful and how Vite improves our experience as developers. So probably in your next project or so, I feel like you should give Vite a try. So we've been able to come up with this product looking web page, where when we try to toggle on the colors and the images get updated. I feel like it's cool. Yeah, cool stuff. So probably if you need this project file, the project folder rather, you can signify. I would compress and share if you need it, and I'll share it with the team will share it rather with everybody. Probably you want to like improve upon it, add areas for collecting reviews from customers, having comment sections, having an add to cart button, and then having like a cart number here that gets updated. We can quickly do that. We can quickly do that, and that would work. Let's quickly add a cart count. Let's create a div. A div that says cart count, and then we want to pass in count. We would create data that says count equals to 0. Of course, initially count should be 0. Let's be sure that shows. Cool. All right. So another thing we would do is to let's put this in like a div and use justify content to put things space between. Div.header. Display flex, and then justify content space between, and then align items center. So I think it should be looking better now. Yeah, cool. Maybe we can then say product info. As front-end engineers, of course, we need to have an eye for design and design patterns. Probably not be able to design itself, but attention to details and making things look nice. And then we can pad the right rather, maybe like 50 pixels, so that it's not so close to the wall. All right. And I think that works. So we want a button that updates that number whenever like an item is like clicked, whenever like the button is clicked rather. So just underneath the product variants div, we can create a button. That says add to count. And this is similar to what we had when we initialize our template. We have a click listener that says add to count. we haven't created our function, so we do that now. Okay, and then we want to update account whenever button is clicked. So this does it. Our button doesn't look so nice, so we could probably like style it. The product button. You can pick out the button and say background color of I like purple, like dark blue. So yeah, let's just work with blue violet. Then color of white. Then padding top, let's say 12 pixels, and right, let's say 30 pixels. Let's see, cool. Our button still does look so nice, so we can like round the edges by saying.
You can also remove the border.
Oh yes, exactly. So we'll do that too. Border radius of 2 pixels. Outline, none, because we don't want an outline. And then border none. Okay. Border radius 2. All right, that shows a little. Then imagine top. Say 80 pixels to make things nice. So our button should have a cursor pointer. All right. So, I mean, this looks like something we see whenever we want to shop. Then when you add, your counter is updated, and we are very much aware as well. Of course, I mean, depending on your level of view experience, you are aware that if this was like production level, you would work with Vuex, you would work with View Router, you would work with all other packages that are needed based on like the use case of your project. So another thing to also recognize is the fact that Vite also allows us to use these packages, these dependencies. With Vite, you could install View Router. With Vite, you could install Vuex. So we could let's just let's have a look at our package.
I suggest we would soon be rounding up. So maybe in a minute or two, like that's with your part, so we can start discussing questions.
All right.
Okay, yeah, but you can show us the thing, the package that you want to. We're planning on installing the package.
Yeah, no, I'm not done installing the package. About to do that now.
Okay, so, yeah, you can do that if you want, and then we can move on to the questions.
All right. So all we have as dependencies is Vue, but you could actually install the Vue router if you need it in your project to install the latest version, and Vue router 4 gets installed. So Vite is so usable. Okay, so we have Vue router 4 here on line 10. All right, so I feel like with this demonstration, we've been able to see all the benefits that Vue brings, right? And if I were you, I would love to like try beyond today. I'd love to try beyond today. So in conclusion, like Vite is not just about the hype. but it's absolutely cool and represents a quick and easy to use environment that doesn't require long builds to get started with a project. You don't need to learn Vue from scratch. So if you are wondering if you needed to learn Vue from scratch, you don't need to. Earlier, we learned that you don't need to only be using Vue to use Vite. You could use React too with Vite. So Vite is a great addition to recent trend of tools that simplify tooling such as Parcel and Snowpack. Honestly, I feel like the time for Webpack may be gone sooner than we think, right? Because if this really speeds up our development quite a bit, I mean, Webpack may be gone in no time. I think, I don't know. So especially in large projects where it's able to just hot swap whole modules, it really helps. You should give it a shot already in your next project. It's the only way to experience its fastness. So that's all we have time for. Thank you. So if we have any questions, if we have any contributions, please feel free to ask. Also check out the docs if you are trying Vite and you have any challenges. Feel free to reach out to me as well on Twitter, on LinkedIn, wherever you feel like reaching out to me on.
Wow, thank you very much, Uche. Like, I really enjoyed your presentation. You did a very good job explaining every single part of your process, and like the demo was a really good example to show the speed of. Did we agree on Vite or Vite?
You may struggle with it at first, but it beats.
Okay. Yeah, with you really demonstrated the strengths of Vite. So I don't know, the Vuejs members kind of have a reputation for being shy. I don't know where they get it from, because definitely not from me. But for those that are on the call, if you have any questions, please feel free to to state them. But I guess from my end, we can kind of just discuss a bit. So just to confirm, Uche, Vite comes along with like all the latest features that Vue 3 and like the Vue 3.2 and the rest have. So I saying like immediately Vue is releasing new features, Vite automatically has access to them.
Oh, nice question. So, but before I answer Amy's question, I think there are other people. Jerry has a question, and Olatunji also has a question, because I saw him raising his. No, Enoiton, right? So Enoiton has a question also. I don't know. Is there someone like that with the name?
Yeah. Hi, good afternoon.
All right. So, Amy's question is: can it be like? So when there are updates, does it also get the updates? So the good thing is that V isn't just made by someone from the community, right? V is made by Evan himself. So if there's any updates in Vue, in like Vue 2 or Vue 3, probably setup options API gets an update, composition API gets an update. I'm very sure that Evan will sync everything to be able to work with Vite, because he's also the founder of Vite. He's the creator of Vite, right? So I think that would be what would happen at the end of.
Okay. Jerry has a question. He said Vite plus Nux, is that possible?
Yeah, can I answer?
Yeah, sure, you can answer. I don't know why. I need to change my view options. I can't tell who is talking. But yeah, you can answer.
Yeah, so I said like sure, like Vite is I can use Vite with Nox, but I think that'll be with Nox 3. Because I think Vite itself or Vite, like yeah, I think it works with only Vue 3. It doesn't really work with Vue 2.
Okay.
Yeah, because I myself I do use Vite in production, so yeah, I have that experience using Vite, and I would say like it's really fast and it's really cool.
Okay. Let me see if we have some questions on YouTube. So from the implementation, I noticed one thing we did was for the for loop, we used divs instead, right? I guess like a sort of improvement to that is, well, from the point of accessibility, in such situations, it's better, even though they don't look like buttons, we should just place the loop on a button and then use a style to make it look like the circles that they did. That way, for screen readers and keypad users, it would be a better experience. Uche, I'm not sure. Wait, Uche dropped off the call. Ah, but Ibrahim, we still have Cruz and Jerry and Olatunji and Timothy. Do you guys have any other question or comment in the meantime?
No, I don't have a question. So it's a very nice presentation, very, very clear and concise.
I totally agree. Okay, let me see if let's wait a bit, see if Uche would pop back in. But in the meantime, I guess Ibrahim, I remember you wanted to tell us about your view goals for the year, and I said that would get back to you. So you can let us know now. Ibrahim, or was it the other Ibrahim that asked? Okay, in this situation, I'm just going to stop streaming onto YouTube since we're pretty much done with the presentation, and so that's what I'm going to do now. So those on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. We're going to stop streaming, and you can always follow us on Twitter and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more of this